Hey, everybody out there in YouTube land. How is everybody doing? Let's get right to the topic. Am I sick? Do I have the coronavirus? Let's talk about it. Now make sure that you watch this video in its entirety before you jump to any conclusions. Because a little bit of information can be dangerous if you don't have the whole picture. But am I sick? I'm actually concerned. I'm not going hysterical about it. I'm not flipping a wig or nothing like that. But let's talk about the topic of the day, the coronavirus. I think we very well may be something that none of us have ever seen before in our lifetime or experienced. I'll say that right up front. And this is just the beginning. But why I'm taking it very serious is because I am actually in a high-risk category. One, I turned 59 years old next month. I'm an old man. You know what's funny about being an old man is whenever I look in the mirror, whenever I look in this camera, damn, you're getting old, dude. But I don't feel that way inside. I still just see myself as a kid. I always wonder, am I ever going to grow up? Apparently the answer to that question is no, I'm not. But anyway, let's talk about this subject, the coronavirus. And I'm going to go at it probably a little bit different direction than anybody else, because I haven't heard anybody talk about it this way. This is what we need to worry about. Now, if you're a truck driver, you've probably already noticed things are changing. Where you pick up your loads and where you drop your loads and the things that we do as truck drivers, things are changing. For instance, this load that I'm delivering in the morning, when I picked it up in Denver. Well, actually Fort Collins. Close enough, right? But I did not interact with a human being at all. I never come face to face with a human being at all. I came in, they had a panel set up. I entered my truck number, my trailer number, my pickup number. And then the screen told me what I was picking up, gave me a screenshot of my bills of lading, asked me if I wanted to accept them or not. It was all automated, which I kind of like, all right? Because you know, being out here, you can be having a great day and you go into a warehouse or a shipper or receiver and you deal with that dude that's just hating life and he takes it all out on you, just blows your whole day. So to tell you the truth, for the most part, I'd rather not interact with them. So I thought it was really cool. But I noticed something. These steps that they're doing to protect their business from this virus is they're protecting themselves from us, the truck drivers. We're the ones that are actually at the high risk of the exposure. Look at this in the last 10 days. In the last 10 days, I've been in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. What? Chill, baby. I was in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. I was in Newport City, New Jersey, in the ports, picking up a load. I was in Milwaukee, dropping off a load, picking up another load. I was in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I was in Denver. I was in Centennial, Colorado. I was in Fort Collins. I'm the one that's taking all the exposure. And everywhere you go, you're being exposed. Now let's talk about this. These shippers and receivers are protecting themselves from us because we're the ones that's most likely transmitting germs. We're most likely the ones that are transmitting the virus. And this virus is actually extremely contagious before any symptoms are apparent. So you could actually be carrying this virus around 4 to 7 days before you even knew if you were sick or not. That's dangerous. But let's talk about a few things here. When I picked up this load, I didn't have to interact with a human being. It was all automated. I put in my truck number, I put in my trailer number, I put in my pickup number, I put in the BO lading number, and it all popped up on a screen. Even gave me a preview of my bills of lading, asked me if I wanted to accept them or not. And then it gave me my trailer assignment, and I went in and I dropped the trailer. I picked up the other trailer. I come back out, same thing, never interacted with a human being. As a matter of fact, they asked me to stay in my truck. I come up, I scaled my load. I was happy with the scale weight. I put accept on the BOC. BOC. You know what I'm talking about. But anyway, my bill of lading. And they told me to stay in my truck. They came out, shut the trail of the trailer, put a seal on it, the whole bit, walked up to my door and handed me my bill of lading, and that was the only contact I had with a human being, is when I touched that bill of lading. Which brings me to another thing. This paper, I'm touching it. I'm passing germs onto this piece of paper. They touched it. They passed it to me. But I noticed something. The guy that handed me this bill of lading was wearing a set of disposable surgical gloves. The shipper I went to the other day, when I handed him the bill of lading, he had on surgical gloves. They're not even touching that paper. We are, though. How many other people have touched that piece of paper? The exposure that we have as truck drivers is unbelievable. Just like in when I picked up this load, I told you it was all automated and I punched it in on the screen. Yeah, that protects everybody at that facility. But you know who it doesn't protect? You and me, the truck driver. Because I had to touch all those buttons. How many other truck drivers that day, with their dirty, grimy little truck driving hands, touched all those same buttons? Man, we're just set up, man. And this is where I'm going to be a little bit different talking about this than probably anybody else you talk to, or at least that I've heard anyway. Because what we do in this country, what we do for a living, is actually vital to this nation. We truly are the blood that runs through the veins of this nation. Without us, this nation comes to a halt. Used to, they had big warehouses where they stored lots of food and a lot of supplies for a city. They might have a couple weeks worth, 30 days worth, except for, you know, their fresh produce. That was always something, a commodity that was coming in and out on a daily basis. But the majority of it was stored. Well, back in the 80s, they started interacting another idea was a cost-saving idea called just-in-time delivery. Did you know that if you take any major metropolitan city and you take all the food and supplies that are on the shelves, all the food that's in the restaurants, all the food that's in the distribution centers, that there's only enough provisions for that major city's population to last them 3 days. 3 days. So here's where the kicker comes. We have to do our job. We can't get sick. If we get sick and we can't do our job, and there's enough of us affected, it could bring an end to this nation. People will die. Our job is critical. Now, you may not feel rewarded enough and all those type of things, but what we do is vital to the population and the economy of this nation. So we got to take care of ourselves. I think that these shippers and receivers where we do business should be totally automated to the point that we don't have to interact with another human being. I think it should be so that we back into the door with the doors closed. They open our doors from the inside. They put all the goods that we're going to ship in there. They close the doors and they seal it. I think there should be a electronic panel that they can scan, that every pallet comes in is registered on that with a case count and all that. That way they're responsible for it. Us as the ship, the ones that are hauling the freight, we didn't load it in there. If you want to stand out there and count your cases, you're still be off. You don't want to be responsible for that. So let them open the doors, let them load the trailers, let them close the doors, and let they seal it. And then when we get to where we're going, we back in, they open the doors, unload the trailer, the whole bit, and they close it. But here's one thing I'd like to change. There's no reason why, with the technology that we have available today, that we're still dealing with this paper bill of lading. They should be able to send that to me digitally to my truck. Be it my phone, be it my PeopleNet, somewhere or another, so that I actually don't have to get out of my truck, interact, or pass an object from me to them and them to me that could transfer a deadly virus. I don't think that would be that hard of a thing to do. Where the hard thing comes in is when we're dealing with truck stops. When we get out to get our fuel, some people, I heard a discussion earlier, about everybody touching the fuel pumps and touching the screen, right? Just like I said, disposable surgical gloves. We should put them on, get out, fuel our truck, do all the buttons and everything that we have to do. But before we get back in our truck, strip those gloves off and throw them away so that we're not transferring a virus into our truck. I'll tell you the reason why I thought about this so much is because I'm highly at risk. A couple of years prior to getting into trucking, I was diagnosed with silica emphysema, terminal. They said that my lungs would nothing but get worse and I would slowly die of OCPD. That's what they said. So in other words, the guys in the white coat didn't know how to treat me. So I treated myself, and the last time I had a physical, when they listened to my lungs, there was no sign of emphysema. So I'm better. They said that doesn't happen. Just goes to show they don't know everything. But I do think we need to take precautions and protect ourselves. Think about it, all the different ways that a germ could be transferred to you and you to them. Just take normal precautions that you can do every day. You don't have to go into hysteria. You don't need to be scared to death. But we need to keep doing our job. And even if we start getting sick, or like me today, listen to my voice. If you heard my voice, you'd think, God, this guy's sick off his face, right? No. For those of you that watch my channel, here about 3 days ago, my dog took off a bolt and ran for about 1.5 miles over out in the country, and I had to chase her down hollering and screaming, and I got a little laryngitis and haven't been able to speak with a good voice, although my voice sounds better today than it did yesterday, so I'm getting better. So no, I don't have the coronavirus. I'm not running a temperature. I don't have a sore throat. I don't have a runny nose. I'm not acting like I've got a virus at all. I sound like I strained my vocal cords by screaming at my dog. But I wanted to answer a couple more questions too. Like, these people, the population, they go into a panic and they have bought out all the toilet paper. You can't buy toilet paper. I thought, why are they hoarding toilet paper? I don't really care, because I'm one of these nasty people. I don't use toilet paper. I don't. No, I don't use the German method either. I use baby wipes. And the fragrance-free baby wipes. Don't want to go around with my ass smelling all foo-foo, right? But I use baby wipes. Man, and if you're a truck driver, baby wipes are one of your best friends. You can't go without baby wipes. Just so happened to this truck stop that I'm in tonight, there's a Dollar General right next door. So I thought, I'm not in hysteria or anything, but I'll go get a few supplies, So I loaded up on some baby wipes. I got me some disinfectant spray. Because I'm getting ready to pick up a trainee in my truck. So before he starts driving and touching everything, I want to clean the truck and disinfect it before he gets in the vehicle. I don't want it to expose him to anything either. But we're just going to start taking little precautions like that. But here's an interesting thing. They were sold out of toilet paper. They didn't have any of that. But the one thing that could actually kill the coronavirus was still on the shelf. This goes to show the education of people. Yeah, Lysol disinfectant. And you don't actually have to have the Lysol brand, because some of the cheaper brands are basically the same product packaged differently other than Lysol. But right here on the label, it lists all the different viruses. Right here on the back, it lists all the viruses that this kills. Kills over 100 illness-causing germs. Kills 99.9% of viruses and bacteria. So they list 100 of them here on the back. And guess what's on the back? Human coronavirus. See, this strain of coronavirus that we're dealing with, it's a new critter. But coronavirus is a family of viruses, and they've been around for a while. So before you start going down the conspiracy row, Lysol already knew about it. No, just not true. But anyway, do the things so that you could basically quarantine yourself in your truck if you needed to. Make sure you have baby wipes. Make sure that you have enough food in your truck that you can go for a week without resupplying. Make sure you have enough water on your truck to drink. And here's something else that we need to talk about. You need a way to go to the bathroom. You can figure that out on your own. But anyway, I am not sick with the coronavirus. I was just hollering and screaming at the bangers. Everybody always wants to see bang. The light's on her. The light's on you. The light's on you. Anyway, she never has gone out. She's never disobeyed a voice command her entire life. Till the other day, she sniffed a prairie dog in the air. It was about a mile away. She was gone. But we need to be able to protect ourselves so that we can still do our jobs. We need to be able to protect ourselves and the community that we serve. It's true. And even if we get the sniffles or get a little sick, we need to still be able to do our job. And I think we're perfectly capable of that. We can figure out how to overcome this. We're truck drivers, right? We have to come up for solutions to problems every day. This is just another something that we have to deal with. Don't go into panic. The world's not coming to an end. Take your precautions. Be prepared. Be a good Boy Scout. Anyway, there's my video on the coronavirus. Anyway, y'all have a great day. God bless each and every one of you. Remember, you too can change the world. All you got to do is be nice to each other. Bye-bye.